Hey everybody, I'm Rick.
Lottery time, I'm Matt.
Welcome to Talking Habs, where you get your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge. It is NHL Draft Lottery night. It
Yes,
is the
sir.
night where we're going to find out. We're going to find out what pick we get, whether we fall back one or two spots or move up. Potentially, what we can move up into three, which is really unlikely. We're going to move up into three.
Mm-hmm.
We can move up into second or first if we get really lucky. Odds are for Habs getting pick one or two is 17%. So 1 in 5 chance that we get one of those two picks. Personally, I don't think we are going to get one, but if we do, it's going to be great, and I'm going to be super happy. But I think it's not a big chance. I don't know. it's more likely we're not, but hey, maybe we do. Maybe we get one of those two picks, and that'll be quite awesome. Matt, what do you got to say on that?
Yeah, no, look, it'd be awesome to move up first or second. I mean, obviously, Bedard's the big prize, but I'd be more than happy if we move up to second. I think Fantilli is also a fantastic player and would be an amazing pick. And look, there's a lot of good prospects, especially in the top 10 in this draft. So, really wherever we end up, I think we're going to get a good player. But, obviously we want to move up, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm going to be perfectly happy if they just stay in fifth, because it's more likely we're going to move back one or two. And obviously, depending on where the first two picks come from, like who the winners are. But I'm going to be just as happy staying at 5 and not having to move anywhere. But obviously, I'll take the first or second. So how it works, just to get, we'll talk about a whole bunch of shit here. Before we lead up to it, at 8 o'clock, it'll start. They'll count down from 16 down to 1. Actually, 16 down to 4. What is it? 5? And then the top 4.
They'll go 16 to probably 10, and then they'll go 10 to 4, and then they'll do the top 3.
Yeah, anyways, it'll be that the basically, if Montreal is not announced at number 5 or 7, 6, or 5, then they moved up.
Then it's party time.
Yeah, and it's party time. We don't know where, so we'll see. But we don't have to really worry and get antsy until they get to pick number 8. Then we're up next because it could be 7, 6, or 5.
Right.
You might have an idea depending on the teams that are announced, and if somebody's missing that should be in, Anyways, so we have a guest.
We do.
Matt, you do the intro.
So this is a good buddy of mine. He's going to get a little antsy. Excuse me, a little antsy when we get around 10, because his team, the Flyers, could end up dropping to 10, depending on what happens. Or I think 9, maybe. I think 9 might be farthest they could drop. But, in a perfect world, to keep us both happy, if both teams move up, that'd be awesome. But here he is. It's my buddy Alex, the Flyers fan perspective.
Hey, Alex, nice to meet you. He's got no sound. You got no sound, buddy.
No sound.
Nope. And I just want to say,
all right, he's a rookie. It's all good.
I see. I disagree with what you said, Matt. In a perfect world, now the Flyers can stay where they are and move back to 9. In a perfect world, Montreal moves up. That's how I look at it. It's what could it be? It could be as simple as your mic's not on.
Is it plugged in?
All right. So while Alex figures that out, I'm
Yep.
going to show you guys a few things. So today, the NHL released I guess their own simulation of the results that are going to come up, and this is what they came up with. So the 2023 NHL Draft Lottery simulation. That's this is from the NHL. First pick Montreal, second pick the Ducks, and third pick the Jackets. It doesn't mean that's what's going to happen, but hey, maybe that's a good omen for us. We'll have to find out. That's coming up soon. Here are the standings. This is how it goes from 16 down to 1. You got Calgary, Nashville, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Ottawa with their pick went to Arizona, though. But Ottawa there. Vancouver, St. Louis, Detroit, Washington, Philadelphia, Arizona. The check mark there so you can see where Montreal is. San Jose, Chicago, Columbus, and Anaheim. So that's how it stands before the draft lottery, and we're gonna find out. By the way, I know there was something wrong. This looked wrong. I got to get into my usual spot.
Oh yeah, Rick's the bottom.
All right. So what we're gonna do here is, well, like I said, we're gonna talk here for a while. I'm gonna take say hi to everybody in the chat in a second. We're going to Matt's gonna announce the teams because he's watching it. And I'll put them up like if it's like that as they go along, and you'll be able to follow along, and that's how we're gonna work it. And hopefully at the end of this beautiful logo goes up, we'll see. All right, let's see who's here. Habs Guru, how's it going, man? Would be nice to get that second or third pick. Fingers crossed. It would be nice. Or third. I mean, it's very unlikely we get third, but I'll take third. I was going to announce that before I got a chance to do what I always do. Bob Cannon in the house. Hey, Bob.
What's up, Bob? How we doing?
Stan the man. Hope the Habs strike it rich today. Go Habs go. Fingers crossed we don't drop from fifth. Yeah, I mean, for me, that's...
Hold on, I'm going to mute myself. Hold on.
I'd like, because the most, I'd like first pick, but I'd really like not to drop at least from fifth. Harry Rice, how's it going, Harry? Perfectly fine with first overall, staying put or dropping to sixth. Honestly, would not like getting second overall, though. Well, if you're not an Adam Fantilli fan, I get that, but I'm happy with second. Silly goose. Tricks are for kids. As long as the Habs don't move down, I'll be pretty happy. Joe the Snoop. Hey, Joe, welcome back all the way from Australia, from Canberra. Awesome. How's it going, man? Anthony, when does it start? The actual draw starts at 8. It was at 7, and then a week and a half ago, they moved it to 8. Jimmy Beam. Have some Jimmy Beam whiskey. Is it whiskey or bourbon or something? Only 8.5% we get first or second. No, that's not actually how it works. There's a 17% chance that we get either one of those. The 8.5 is just for first. I believe second's a little higher, the percentage. So, yeah. ABL, where I hope he goes number 1. Number 2, Vancouver. Oh, he's Montreal for number 1. Number 2, Vancouver. Number 3, Chicago. Number 4, Detroit. Number 5, Philadelphia. Hey, Rick Bengal. How's it going, man? Alex, are you going to hear us? Bob says, welcome to Talking Habs. Papa Pudding. And sometimes the app doesn't pick your mic as default. That's true. Sometimes the app doesn't pick your mic as default. Maybe check to see that it's the right mic in the... I haven't been a guest, so I don't know but what you see exactly. But there's a way for you to check your mic that it's got the right mic. Or that it's picked. You only have the one mic option? Because if you have more than one mic, it's possible it's that. But then you should hear on the other mic. Bob, if you're talking about that simulation, I think it's from the NHL. That's what I got that off of Twitter. The person posting it said it was from the NHL. So I believed them. Arizona wins and trades number 1 pick for Matthews and Nyes, and Toronto's number 1. Not happening. Better not. God damn it, that better not happen. Teams I don't want him to go to. Anyone but Montreal. Arizona, Anaheim, San Jose, St. Louis, Washington. Canucks will pull a miracle here and shock the NHL with getting to pick number 9. When does the lottery begin? 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock Eastern time, so I'm not sure where you're from. MTG Brewery says, I'm a realist hoping for Michkov at 5th, but Fantilli or Bedard would be nice. If you're saying Fantilli or Bedard at 5th, that's insane. But yeah, you know what? Maybe Michkov doesn't drop. If he doesn't drop, though, I don't think he'll be around at 5th. Canberra is actually pronounced Canberra. As in, no, that doesn't, what I was going to say doesn't really work. Canbra. It's a new from Wonder Bra, the new Canbra, where you can put your cans in the bra. Okay, that was very sexist, Rick. Number 17, no, what? Number 17 chances in 200 equals 8.5%. No, 17 chances into that. No. It's a 17% chance they get either 1 or 2. That's what I said. They have an 8.5% chance to get number 1. That's what I said. Anthony's from the future. Habs get first round pick. If only that were true. Thank you very much, sir. Very appreciated. That's Bob Cannon. Oh, for the rap. Yeah, Harry did a rap video. I don't know where it is. What happened to Matt? How did you get RHP to be on the show? Wow, he does look a bit like Repeat Arm.
I'm trying to help Alex with his mic.
Yeah, no, okay. No, it's not happening. I am more of a realist, says Joe. Most likely stick with 5th. I mean, listen, if they're going to get 5th, that means the teams ahead of them got 1 and 2. So it's possible because they have the biggest chances, but yeah, we'll see. And I still can't remember how they can get 3rd, but there's a way. I don't remember how it is. Bob says, let's smash that like button for Rick and guests. I second that. Give a thumbs up if you're having a good time. How much time left? We got 48 minutes. And then it's probably going to take about a half hour for them to do the whole thing. So, excuse me, we got 64 people in the chat. There's been a while since I had that many. All right, awesome. So yeah, please give thumbs up. That'd be awesome. Riley Kidney, Joshua Roy, both out of the Q playoffs. Sucks, man. Halifax versus Quebec for the finals. I know the Ramparts are very strong, and the Mooseheads are in. Awesome. Jeremy, how's it going? If Habs are in 3rd position, who do you pick, Michkov or Smith? Personally, I'm still worried about Michkov being able to get here. I think Smith's pretty damn good. I'd probably right now go to Smith. If I knew Michkov could buy out his contract and was going to come here, I'd like for sure maybe take Michkov, but still for me it's it's too much of a risk. But Jeff Gilbert, Habs can't pick 3. Yes, they can. There is a way. It's a 0.03% of a chance, but I don't remember. It was explained to me. I don't remember what the explanation was, but there's a slight possibility. They're not going to get 3rd, though. I don't see it. BL says, this guy's the quietest Flyers fan he's ever seen. They're working on his sound. Question. What browser are you using? It might be the browser. This is like Christmas. Yeah. I mean, sort of. If we get 1st or 2nd, it is. Yeah, I know it's Ottawa winning the lottery, but I still don't understand how that pushes us up. That's the thing. I don't get it. If someone wants to explain it in here, please do. Thanks, Tupac. Appreciate it, man. Hey, Lucas. People are here for Bedard. No, I know that. I just hope people don't get disappointed if we don't get it. That's all. I'm just more of a realist. So I'm not going to give myself all that. Yeah, we're going to get it. And then if we don't, I'm all disappointed. This way, if we do get them, I'm going to be super pumped. And if we don't, I'm not going to be depressed about it. Rick's going to be going to all Moosehead games, I imagine. And you live down in Halifax. Awesome. If the Red Wings get anything past number 9, that's a move up. Wherever they fit, they could possibly move 10 spots up. Do they start by 32 down to 1? They don't. Hey, Jackie James, they don't start with 32 at all because only 16 teams are in this. So they start from 16 and they work their way down. Jeremy, I pretty much agree with you. But there is, they can get, I don't think they do, but there is a way. I know that's not happening because Gary ain't letting the Wings move up even one spot. Yeah, I don't know that Gary has much to say about this. I believe this is on the up and up. I mean, as much as I can believe it, right? Rick, I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I think if you get third and you can assure that Michkov is going to get here, you probably should be taking Michkov. Hey, Windy City Hockey, how's it going, man? Hawks are in the running. I'm going to try to keep up with all his comments. I'm not that far behind. Yeah, it's a large chat today. If Ottawa wins the first lottery, they can only advance 10 spots to second. Then, if Montreal wins the lottery for second overall, we'd actually get third since the Sens would own second. It's a weird way. Yeah, I guess I don't see how at fifth if we win second overall, we don't get second. That would really piss off people. Yzerman might be the best GM in hockey. Maybe Ken Hughes. What kind of commentary are you guys doing tonight? Well, we're going to talk about, leading up to it, whatever you guys in the chat want to talk about. And then we are going to, I guess, talk about the teams as they come up and who's got what. And I don't know. There's no script. Jackie James, yeah, it's more of a chance for them to be seventh than to get the first pick. Yes. The Weasel wants Bedard in Phoenix. He will pack them in by the dozens in that college rink. I don't know that Gary has a say here. How does the team lottery work? If remember last year we don't see the ball, they are rolling, right? That's true. They could say whoever they want. Well, it's overseen by an accounting firm. I mean, they have. I mean, if they're caught cheating here, that's it's not good for business. So I don't think they cheat. Rick, I mean, if he goes to Arizona, it's huge for them, but I don't think it's being fixed. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hey, Magyon, if Habs are in the first 3, it's going to be epic for us. I mean, I doubt they get third, but it's going to be great. And listen, if they can stay in 5th, I think it's going to be great there too. MSU Detroit fan. Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting. I thought that the Wings were. Is it them that they were kind of close and then they sort of said, "Nah, we're not done yet." It might have been Ottawa. I mean, I like Stevie Y. And I got nothing against the Wings. Bob, it wouldn't be 2 years for Matthews. It would be he's only got 1 more year left in Toronto. If he goes to Arizona, I think Matthews will get there next year. Potentially. Hey, Jethro, how you doing? Jethro thinks we get pick number 2. MSU says it's bad when my favorite OHL team plays in a larger arena that the Coyotes play in. It kind of is, isn't it? Jackie James, good question. Who monitors the lottery? I don't know. They'll probably say it in the if you watch it on TV. I think it's only on ESPN though. Some big firm. Or Coyotes get the first pick and trade it to the Leafs for U-turn. Yeah, that was mentioned earlier. I listen. I honestly hope that does not happen. Draft lottery is not fixed. McDavid would have gone to the big American market and not a small market, Edmonton, if it was. Good point, MJ. Good to see you, by the way. It's been a while. Awesome. Hey, Thomas. I think Bill Daly, VP of the NHL, oversees the lottery. Yeah, not. It's no. I don't. He oversees it for the NHL, but it's run by this firm. I don't think he doesn't oversee it in that way. Matthews going for sure. I'm just looking at the time. What time? Oh, we still got plenty. Matthews going to Arizona for sure. I don't know if that's for sure though. Personally, I think Matthews wants to go to a big American market where he's going to get a lot of endorsements, make a ton of money, and it doesn't matter if they win or lose. If Arizona wins it, the trade is set up. No, it's not. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's all set up. Pete the Fist is monitoring the lottery. Pete actually might show up. He won't be. It won't be till after the draft. The lottery starts. So he's working. He doesn't get home till not yet. Let's put it that way. Hey Matt, how many picks do we have in the first round? If we win number 1, do we trade the rest or more round picks? Oh, we keep killing it, Rick. Oh, and we keep killing it, Rick. If we win number 1, I'm sure they're going to be making moves at the draft and stuff like that. So I'm not sure now. Is that for me, this stuff here? No, that's not for me. Where was I? Dow Advent Center, home of the Saginaw Spirit, holds 7,647. That's crazy. And they get 5,000 over there. And that's insane. Stan the Man, I want to say I'm not sure about that, about Brisebois. I mean, he's made some questionable. I don't know if he's as much of a wonderkind as he was thought to be. Will I pull up Tankathon and do a couple of mock spins? Please, no. What's the mock spins mean? They mean nothing. I haven't done it once, and I'm not going to do that. Personally, my feeling is if I'm doing that, if I'm doing that, I'm jinxing it, and I'm not going to jinx it. What happened to Alex?
He's gonna go try to figure out a solution to his audio problem.
All right. Oh, where was I?
We were trying a bunch of things. We couldn't figure it out.
If I was a betting man, I think Matthews stays in Toronto. Less likely he goes to LA. No, he's not staying in Toronto. I don't think he is. I'm not a betting man. I'd probably take you up on that. Hey, Luca. No, me too. I agree with Luca. Not expecting much, but you never know. And that's my attitude. So that if we don't get anything like special, I'm not disappointed.
Oh. Did he come in on his phone?
I'm gonna do it out of my phone. It's the only way I can think of it.
We got you. We got you.
I said, let's do it out of the phone. If I can't do it through my laptop, this is the next best option. How we doing tonight, guys?
Very good. Very good. Nice to meet you, dude. Finally.
Nice to meet you, Rick. I've heard a lot of good things about you. I've watched a few of you guys' videos, actually more than a few, as just a commenter, and now I'm actually excited to be on. I'd like to do this for every Flyers Habs game this year if you guys will have me.
Yeah, well, definitely. Yeah, it's a little while away, so let's see. But it sounds good.
We don't even know the schedule.
No, it sounds good. Oh shit! I wanted to say something. I lost it. Oh well, that happens. Let me keep with these comments because there's freaking ton of them, and I don't want to. Yeah, and then we'll get to we'll have a little round table.
Yeah.
Will I stream the show or just comment it? I'm not streaming the show. That's copyright. Can't do that. Cannot.
Yeah, Anthony, it actually is RHP, but we had to change its name to Alex Fournette, so like we wouldn't get like a bazillion people in here trying to fight.
Oh man,
there we are. That's where I was.
Both of our franchises, though, that's for sure. This is.
If we get either one or two, I wonder if the PLD talk will quieten down. Should quieten down, I would think. I just saw an interview.
PLD going to Montreal is one of those paper deals that is like been pretty much like pretty much a handshake deal that will be officially done right around the draft, I think.
Yeah, I don't think so. I just saw PLD 2 days after they lost in the playoffs talking. I'm not saying it's not like he's kind of denying it, but I don't think it's as simple as that. I don't think Montreal trades for him because why give up assets when this guy wants to be here? He'll be here in a year, and he said he was hoping to get a long-term deal here from Winnipeg. Although he didn't really say from Winnipeg. I'll give that.
Well, I'll give an example of something similar. When we acquired Kevin Hayes a couple of years ago, Winnipeg knew they weren't going to get him. Now, he was an RFA at the time, so they traded him our rights for just simply a fifth-round pick. I wouldn't be surprised if Montreal does something similar to that. Just a low-round pick just so Winnipeg gets something for him. That way, at least, it's like you get him a year quicker. It's a guy that can help develop some of your younger guys and help.
No, Winnipeg's not giving him for nothing.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Why let him walk? You could at least get maybe a fourth or a fifth round pick for him. That's what I'm
saying. Listen, they'll sign him to a 1-year deal. They'll trade him at the next trade deadline.
Yeah,
they'll get something for him. You don't let a guy like Dubois walk to get just a draft pick. There's no way that's happening. That's the problem, right? I mean, it's going to be an expensive. Like, why are you giving good assets to get a guy that, in a year? Maybe in 2, you'll have him if he really wants to be, right? A Canadian, he'll be.
It's very similar to Johnny Gaudreau, which I still have some PTSD about.
Well,
all you had to do was move James Van Hockey. That's all you had to do, and Gaudreau would have been a flyer.
General manager, I'd have some choice words to describe him, but I'm going to keep it PG. But yeah,
who was it you're talking about? No, it wasn't Hextall. Who was it?
Chuck Fletcher.
Chuck Fletcher.
Oh, Fletcher, yeah.
Yeah, so we had Ron Hextall before that, and the thing with Hextall was he was a very unaggressive general manager, extremely conservative. He wasn't a guy that dished out too many bad contracts, although the Dale Weiss one was one I look at and I still dry heave every time I see it.
That was a bad contract they gave him.
Yeah,
we got his good years. I think it's safe to say that.
When we got him, that was the type of guy you sign maybe for a 1 to 2 year prove it deal, and they signed him for 4 years. And I was looking at that deal, and I'm like, "What are you doing, Ron? Come on."
What did they give him? Like $2 million, $3 million a year?
Yeah, I think I don't know for sure, but there may have been a partial no movement clause too. I don't know.
No, I don't think there was.
But they gave him 4 years, and I'm like, "What are you doing?"
But it was way too much money. Because then we picked him up.
Too much turn too.
We picked him up after we got him in a trade after you guys signed him. We had him here, and the contract was ridiculous money.
Yeah, it was. I think it was $2.5 million. Now looking,
something 2.5. I think it was 2.5.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous.
But yeah, I'll say one thing: I'm envious of you guys, farm system. You guys got a lot of good prospects coming up. Lane Hudson.
Oh yeah, this team's going to be
Matt
good.
has been completely raving over him. I had to watch a few videos on him. I've watched some things he's sent me, some stuff on my own. That kid's going to be a player. He's got one incredible shot.
I'm so happy I got to watch him live in the Hockey East final, man. Oh, is he a good player?
We got one really good prospect, and someone Matt told me he wanted so bad, and Cutter Gauthier last year. I think he's going to be real good. I still think he could work on his back check, and he's definitely going to put on a little bit more size, but he's got a really good shot. He's someone that
he's a big guy. Isn't Gauthier a big guy?
He is, but I still think that he's going to be more of a scoring power forward. He's got some size already, but I think he's still going to put on a little bit more to really play at the NHL style. Well, he's got an incredible shot for his size too. He's the type of kid I think that could be inserted towards the end of the 2023-24 for a couple games to get his feet under him, and could be a guy that just slides very smoothly right into the lineup and be someone who could really help the top six of this team that desperately needs it.
Desperately.
Another Hockey East guy, too. Mm-hmm. And he happens to be Lane Hudson. Well, not Hudson, but he happens to be Lane Hudson's ComAv rival at BC.
Mm-hmm. Big BC guy there. And part of the reason that I like him, too, is it makes me hope that Will Smith maybe drops to us at 7.
No, Will Smith's not dropping to 7.
I don't think he's going to either. I think he's going to probably be speaking of 4 or 5.
Speaking of Smith, someone asked, is he a defense or winger? He's a winger.
He's a wing. Really friggin' good wing, too.
He's played some center time, too. He played a little bit of center.
But he's basically a winger, but that can play center. Smith hasn't. I mean, I don't even think if we have him if we have 5th pick, I don't think he drops to 5th at this point.
I could see him dropping a 5. I think
I don't think so. I think he's moved up. He's moved up big time in the last 2 weeks. I think he's moved up big time that they're talking even of 3rd. So
I think Carlson's going to be locked into the 3rd.
I don't know. I'm telling you, I don't know. It depends on who's picking there, I guess. But
that's
Smith,
a good point.
I doubt Smith. I doubt Smith's there for us at 5th. And that's who I would take. I mean, that's who I would take at 5th.
In a heartbeat. I wouldn't mind Dalibor Dvorsky either. I'm pretty high on Dvorsky.
I'm going to say
around 6 now.
Well, I think it depends on how if Michkov drops. I think we probably get Dvorsky. I think that's how it's going to work out.
If Michkov's there at 5, do you take the risk in him with him being overseas right now, and you don't know if he's going to come over?
I don't know. I don't think I do. Honestly, I don't think I do.
I don't know. I don't even know if he's even going to drop. Like I said, it depends on who's picking in front of us and what their needs are. I've heard David Reinbacher's name mentioned a few times. I don't know who in front of us needs a defenseman, but I've heard him.
I think
maybe being in the top 5
if they trade Carlson over the offseason.
I think with the news that came out, I think it was last week with this. It was a Washington Capitals prospect who's in the KHL, similar to Michkov. He bought his contract out, joined the Caps, right away. So that changes things, right? If Michkov can do that, or the team that drafts him can buy his contract out and bring him in, it might. I don't know. Michkov might not drop. Because
he's in Sochi too, so he's not playing for CSKA, which would have been kind of a problem. Because CSKA is still considered the Red Army team.
Yeah, no, I get it, but the thing is, if that could happen, and the teams know that they can do that, and I don't know if there's any knowledge of whether Michkov is okay with that. I imagine he would be. It could change that he doesn't drop at all. If that's the case, he's going 3rd.
Right. If he goes 3rd, then you got one of probably 3 guys that could go 4th, and either Carlson, Smith, or like I said, depending on who's there. Like if the Sharks are there, it could be Reinbacher. They decide to trade Erik Karlsson.
I'm kind of thinking
on who's there. I don't know. Who needs a defenseman right now? Who's in the top 10?
Well, but it's Will's that team. If they need a defenseman, they would be them.
I don't know. We'll see. Well, listen, you know what, though? There's always a team that does something that's not expected. So
there's a lot of good forward talent. One kid I've been watching personally is Oliver Moore. He is probably, in my opinion, the best skater in this draft. He is so quick and elusive with the puck.
I've heard of him, but I don't know much about him. But I mean, I've heard the name out there, so I know that.
He's someone I think that's moved up over the last few weeks. He's quick. His shot is so, but he is someone who can make plays. He's got great stick handling. He's someone I could see easily right around that 7 to 10 range. If he's there at 7, I would not be disappointed at all if the Flyers took a flyer on him, assuming they stay at 7. Because if they move up to 1 or 2, you're probably going to see me running around this apartment screaming.
That's the thing too, right? Everybody's assuming like Montreal's pick, we're going to stay at 5th, right? If we get 5th pick, but we probably not getting 5th pick.
No, that's crazy.
We're probably not staying where we are. It's unlikely that we're going to stay.
The odds are
we're right in that sweet spot too, right? Like if you look at the past few lotteries, like we're right in that sweet spot where teams in the past
to 2 last year. It was New Jersey who was at 5 when they jumped to 2. I only remember this because we were 4 and they jumped us.
But it's right in that sweet spot, like 5, 6, 7, right around there. It's kind of in the sweet spot to move up.
Well, yeah, I think.
Luca, by the way, let's get back to this, to the chat a little bit. Luca's saying we're wrong on Smith. He's a center, but his 200-foot game is not center level at the NHL.
No, I thought he was a center.
He plays a little more wing than center. I thought anyway.
I think he's
but I can see them
out as a center. He is that. I've seen him a little bit, and he's like I said, he's supposed to play at BC, and like I said, for some miracle he does drop to 7. I don't think it does happen, but if he did, I would love the pick just because him and Gauthier could actually build some chemistry.
Yeah. Well, I think with Smith, like if you're taking him, I know for Montreal they're looking for guys that either play wing but can play center, or play center and can play wing. And I think their long-term goal is to have 2 guys on each line that can play center. Yeah. And that to me, that makes a lot of sense.
Suzuki's a stud, so you got 1 already.
Yeah, we got 1. We got Suzuki and Doc. We got 2 studs there, I think.
Right.
I know not everybody's sold on Doc.
You guys are set up pretty well 2 to 3 years from now. You guys, like us, we'll probably both be struggling at least another year, and I think me and Matt talked about it off screen. About 2024, 25, I can see both of these teams competing again.
Yeah, 24, 25 should be where Montreal starts to make that push to be better. Yeah. YouTube user.
But again, too, I mean, it all depends on what happens tonight. That could be sped up depending on if teams move up or down or whatnot.
Yep,
I can agree with that. Yeah, Adam Fantilli doesn't get talked about enough too. That kid would be the number 1 pick in probably 80 to 85% of the drafts. That
for sure
is a stud. I watched some of him in Michigan. He already has a phenomenal 200-foot game. He's got a great shot.
Got good size on him too.
Great size. He's smart with the puck.
Hang on, Luca. I'll send you some. I'm gonna send Luca an invite.
Sweet.
He's someone I could see that just slides right into the NHL with not too much issue. Mm-hmm. I think he'd be his rookie year. He could put up like a 60-point campaign, no problem.
My computer is slow these days. I think I got
at least yours is audio.
I'm sending Luca an invite. We're gonna have a party on screen.
Fern, we're kind of spoiled here too in the Northeast with college hockey, with all these young guns coming up. Gauthier Smith at BC, Hudson at BU, just had Farrell at Harvard.
Best college state. I mean, best college hockey state in the East Coast is Massachusetts, unquestionably.
Oh, East Coast hockey's the best. I mean, so East Coast hockey just won the NCAA tournament.
10 seconds later.
That's what we do.
We are 20 minutes away from the start.
But we gotta, Alex, you and I gotta get to some of the BC and BU games when they play each other.
Absolutely. And so, serious question.
Tickets are very cheap too.
Serious question. How many times did you guys run the Tankathon NHL Draft Simulator? Because I think I did it at least one time a day.
Never. I didn't go once.
couple of times if I got bored, but
I did it probably once a day at work just to see what I would get for results. Get my false optimism up just a tad.
I did not go. I just it's kind of like jinxing it. So,
Alex, there's a question to you from Bob Cannon.
I've heard on Philly about Carter Hart being traded. Any substance to those rumors we heard a month ago? I don't think, unless they get a haul, and I mean something that accumulates to like one guaranteed pick in the lottery, another first rounder, and an A minus B plus level prospect. I just can't see them moving him. He still has another year or two of. I think he's got another. He's got one more year after. I mean, this is last year that I think. So I don't think that they move him because getting a franchise goalie is so difficult nowadays, and Philly especially has not had one consistently since Ron Hextall.
Goaltending's been a problem in Philadelphia forever.
Yeah, exactly. So why give up? I mean, Samuel Ersson looked good this year in the limited time that he did play, but why go into the well for another project when you have a guy who's still only 24 years old? He's been in the league, I think, since 28, like the first, middle half of 2018. But why give that up and go into another project?
He doesn't have a huge contract either, so
no, he's only making a little. He's going to get paid his next deal, especially for
But right now.
But yeah, the cap's going to go up next year, projected by about $4 or $5 million. That should.
Well, not next year. It's going to be $1 million.
Well, it's $1 million going into this season. It'll be $4 million going into next the season after that.
Hey, Luca, say hi. Let's give Luca a chance here.
Luca, the team talk.
Luca, what's up?
Hello, gentlemen.
How's it going, Luca?
What's going on, buddy?
I rambled on a little bit. My apologies.
No, it's all good. So, nice to meet you, Alex.
You're the only level-headed Habs fan, other than myself, I want to say, that is the comment you made. Like, everyone is just too excited to get first and second pick, and it might not happen.
Yeah, I'm not expecting much. I've already, kind of just told myself that if we pick 5th, 6th, 7th, we're getting a good player.
That's right.
So you're either getting a franchise-changing player or you're getting an elite offensive talent who's going to contribute on your top 6 for a good period.
Right, exactly.
Top power play unit. So, I mean, the way that this draft is looking, I'm not complaining, no matter where we end up.
I agree. Top 10, 12 picks are all excellent.
Yeah, there's some good picks there. Yeah. Luca, what's your opinion on Will Smith? Where do you think he's going to end up going?
I like him. The first time I got to watch him live was at the under 18s, and he was skating circles around people. And he was making plays that I haven't seen people make in a while, at least at that age group. So I don't see how he doesn't go in the top 5.
You think at 5, if Montreal manages to keep 5, that he'll still be there?
It depends on if one of the top 4 teams takes Mitch Cobb or not. So if it's a team that can afford to take him and can wait for 3-4 years, then if he ends up landing at 5, Montreal is going to take him. I mean, Kent Hughes knows this draft class better than any draft class.
Mm-hmm. And he knows Smith.
And he knows Smith very well.
Very well.
He knows a lot of the 05s in this draft class, especially the American 05s. So that entire US NTDP team, so Smith, Moore, Leonard, all those guys, he knows them all really, really well. So I would not be surprised if Will Smith stays at 5 that the Habs end up picking him.
Yeah, I think if he's there at 5, they're picking
assuming we pick at 5.
Mm-hmm. Assuming we pick at 5, that's right.
Yeah. If we pick at 6 or 7 and Will Smith's gone and Zach Benson's gone, then anyone from that, after Will Smith, Zach Benson, and the big 3 or 4 guys, everyone else is in the same tier of player, I would say. So,
but either way, we're going to get a good player. Whoops.
Yeah, we'll get a good player. We'll get a top 6 forward, top 4D, power play 1. If it's a forward, power play 1 contributor.
So hypothetically, if you did for some unlucky reason move down to 7, and those obvious 6 are gone, who would be your pick over that next year?
Who would be my pick?
Yeah.
I haven't watched enough of junior hockey this year to make a nice I would pick this guy for sure. But there's a few guys that I think stand out. I think Ryan Leonard stands out, especially with his performance at the under 18s. I think if they're looking for someone who's like a bigger 200-foot player than probably Dvorsky, and if they're looking to shore up right D, or if they're looking for an offensive-minded defenseman, either probably Sandin Pellikka, if they're looking for an offensive defenseman. If they're looking for a two-way, both ends of the ice defenseman, then Ryan Bacher. But I think Sandin Pellikka is going to get taken in the top 10 because he's a pure offensive defenseman who can really skate, who can create. Like the stuff he was doing at the under 18s this year was crazy. So.
Cool. Well, there you go. I don't know what question I got. Let's see what we got here in the chat. Can't ignore them for the whole time. Hey, look, Luke is in the chat. That's how far back I was.
Yeah, Bob Cannon says hi. Hi, Bob. Boom.
Shaboom.
If I missed any questions, missed any comments, we apologize. Listen, when there's a lot of people in here, it's harder to get to everybody's questions. So we're going to cherry pick a bit. Back in.
I want to read this one.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
What is this?
Who's reading that?
I am. Q on the CHL rights to the state of Massachusetts. Where do the dumb kids
Read it out loud, not to whispering.
Oh. The Q own the CHL rights to the state of Massachusetts. Where do the dumb kids play their hockey? We don't see a lot of New England kids playing here. Hockey East. A lot of them play in Hockey East. Jordan Harris, Sean Farrell, to name two of them.
What does he mean by the dumb kids? Because they didn't go to college?
Oh, I don't know. There is like the USHL, but typically anyone that's that good will play. They'll play in the USHL, or they'll get recruited to college. Because they'll go to like a private school or something like that, and then from there, 9 times out of 10 they end up playing D1.
I went right to the bottom. Oh, okay, so it's not so bad. BL says his point is not all kids can get into.
Yeah, so the USHL.
Sofka says would be funny if you take Dvorsky. More Slovak fans for the Habs. He's Slovakian.
Oh, by Dvorsky. He's not bad. I don't know, Luca, how do you feel about Dvorsky?
I don't know if he has the offensive upside that we thought he was going to have at the start of this year, just based on his output. But if they're looking for someone to be a solid 200-foot player who can win puck battles, win face-offs, be responsible defensively, and chip in a few points every now and again, then it's all dependent on what they're looking for. Like
there's another guy along with Will Smith that had a nice little jump from these last couple of weeks. I could see him getting picked, maybe even ahead of Benson, possibly. He's been hyped up quite a bit, but I agree with your point. I don't know how his scoring output is going to be long term compared to some of these other prospects.
Yeah, I don't know. I unfortunately don't know enough, like intimately, of these guys yet. I wait till we get closer to the draft, and then seeing where Montreal's going to pick, and then like that. So tonight will go a long way for that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
BL says the CHL's miles ahead of the USHL.
Oh yeah, no, without a doubt. That's the other option.
In the
in the States, yeah, it's the USHL, or like I said, if you're that good, the US development team will recruit you, and then you'll go to college.
Yeah, and then the US NTDP, they get recruited at 16.
Yeah.
And then they go through for 2 years. You do 2 years of the program before you go into college. So you're grade 11 and grade 12 year.
Yep.
Oh, I thought I was so far, much farther back. What happened with all the comments? Send us some comments, guys. We got another 11 minutes to.
See, Heck, I wish it was signed. It's not.
You know what? I got a question
kind of the way
for
it's
everyone.
folded.
Let's change it up a little bit. We're in the midst of the Stanley Cup playoffs. We got 8 teams left. Who's everyone's prediction right now to win it all?
I don't think I have a prediction for that, but I think I've got this gut feeling now that says Seattle, Florida for the final.
I would heavily be rooting for Florida in that series because I got a little bit of a grudge against Seattle. Matt knows why.
Okay, Luca, who do you think?
I think the way Edmonton's playing right now, I don't know if anyone can stop them. Like I think they've got it. They're starting to figure it out.
Leon Draisaitl is the best player in hockey, by
they're
the way. Just
clicking.
putting it out there.
They're firing on all cylinders. The power play is just electric right now. Draisaitl, yeah, Matt, like you said, Draisaitl's at 13 goals or something like that.
I mean,
he might break the record for most goals.
As good as McDavid is, and I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but like Draisaitl, I think's been on a whole nother level.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone can match Edmonton like pound for pound right now. Like I know Seattle's really hot. But I don't know if
those games have been entertaining. I watched the game last night. That was a fun game of hockey to watch.
Yeah, I said just a gut feeling. I don't know. I just had a gut feeling. I think it was this morning.
And I can see if Florida sweeps the Leafs, I could see them beating whoever comes out of Carolina, New Jersey, and making it to the finals, and then potentially Florida Edmonton final would be an absolute barn burner of a final. That's going 7 games for sure if that ends up being the final.
Let's get to the fun part. You said if Florida sweeps the Leafs, what did you see anything did you watch the game last night?
Bits and pieces of it.
Did you see anything in that game that says the Leafs are going to win? Anything?
Not really.
I mean, that was I watched it. Matt and I were on. We were kind of watched it together, and I kept saying all night, you need to win this game, and that's the effort they got.
Mm-hmm. I mean, David Camp was their leading. He led the team with shots.
Yeah,
a team with John Tavares, Austin Matthews, William Nylander, and Mitch Marner, and David Camp and Eric Gustafsson are leading your team in shots. That's a problem.
They were no shows.
Yeah, and they got no goals for the series either. It's like crazy.
None of the four I think have scored yet.
No, not in the series. Nope.
Like can you imagine? The top heavy players are not doing anything. Like
can you imagine being a Leafs fan?
Florida's back check has been stifling. Like they've been taking Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner out the game and leaving Bunting out to dry and making him do all the work on that top line. He's not that type of player.
I know. Last night, Bunting was the only one you noticed. I hardly know. Was halfway through the game. I said halfway through the game. I said to Matt, "Is Matthews there?" Like I don't think I've heard his name all night. Like that's crazy.
They might just be polishing off their 56 degrees.
Their what degrees?
The 56-degree wedge.
They might be getting ready for the golf course. I give it I don't think they'll get swept. I think they'll push it a 5, but then I think Florida's going to end it there.
No, I think they get swept.
I
said this,
it would be hilarious
when they beat Boston, and I said Florida reminds me a lot of what Montreal did 3 years ago. And they beat the team up 3-1. They came back and beat them in 7, and then went on to sweep the Jets. And I said, wouldn't it be something if they do that against the Leafs? And they're about to do that. Yeah. I think the Leafs don't have anything left. Do they have anything left in the tank? Doesn't look like it.
I gotta say, one big thing with Florida is their goaltending has been great this entire series. Bobrovsky's found the fountain of youth. That was the big question mark with Florida.
I love the Bob Rossky meme. I think that's hilarious. Let's make a happy little glove save.
I think the Leafs losing Samsonov was pretty big for them.
Yeah. If he's out next game, they're done.
If they had Samsonov back for Game 4, then I could see them. I could give them a fighting chance in Game 4. But putting Joseph Wall in there again, having him start, I mean, that's gonna be a lot of pressure on that kid.
Yeah.
So we'll see how he handles it. He did quite well in the regular season when they asked him to come in. He only lost 1 game in the regular season.
I get it, but come on, it was his,
what happens.
It was he misplayed in the overtime. He misplayed that.
Yeah, totally. He didn't realize Reinhart was behind the net.
He totally misplayed.
He did not realize it.
Yeah, So anyway, maybe we'll get lucky. We'll see Matt Murray. Matt Murray's backing him up if Samsonov can't go. I was also saying last night, it looks like the hockey gods are saying to the Leafs, "No, you're not getting nowhere."
You got a series
with the injury to Samsonov. There were a few things in that game. It's like they're shooting themselves in the foot.
And they lost Matty Nyes as well earlier on in the series, which also he was. I don't want to compare him to Cole Caulfield because he's a different player than Caulfield, but he almost brought the same energy and vigor to the team that Caulfield did when he came in. to the series.
Reluctantly,
right?
I'd say I agree with that.
He's a totally different player. He's not a
Yeah,
guy
of
who's
course.
going to snipe you 40, 50 goals a season. He's more of an energy guy, two-way guy who's responsible defensively and forechecks hard, right? But he brought that same vigor, that same energy that Caulfield did, injected some life into the team. And
He tried to anyway.
yeah, but
Didn't
seeing him
seem
get
to.
hurt too, that was probably a
Right.
blow for them as well, because he's probably
Yeah.
a really liked guy in the locker room, similar to Caulfield, right? So
Probably, yeah. And he has some talent. Like, as much as I don't want to admit to that,
he's a good player. Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah, you can see it.
He was playing with
can see
Logan
it.
Cooley all year at Minnesota, and
Yeah.
he was really
Should have been
good.
nominated for the Hobie Baker though.
No, I don't. I agree with that.
Wayne
He
Hudson
shouldn't have
got
gotten
snubbed
that,
big time.
but I
Yeah,
mean,
I
he's
can agree
a
with
good
that, too.
player, and he was looking impressive for rookie in the playoffs. But
Yeah,
like I said, hockey gods don't want the Leafs to go anywhere, so
the curse of Harold
knock them
Ballard.
down one at a time.
The curse of Harold Ballard may live on.
What? Say that again?
The curse of Harold Ballard.
Yeah. God.
It may live on. It may
Oh my
live
God.
The
See,
last
you guys
time the
didn't live through that. You guys didn't live through that.
No.
I did. He was horrible, man. That guy was horrible.
Leafs have not won a second-round playoff series game since 2004 when they lost to my Philadelphia Flyers in 6 games. Just throwing that out there.
And they're not going to win a second round playoff game until next time they make it to the second round.
Maybe.
I'm not counting them out just yet. I wouldn't bet against them, but I also wouldn't bet for them. I don't know.
Yeah,
Well, I think you're 100% right. If Wall is starting, yeah, it's over.
It's tough.
If Samsonov's in nets, they got it. They do have a chance. I'll give you that. But if Wall's in nets, I don't.
Even if Wall's in net, I don't give them a 0% chance. It's never a 0%.
Well, it's not a zero. Of course, it's
you
not.
you have a lot of game-breaking players on that team.
No, you're right.
I can agree with that.
If they
I
show
feel like
up,
teams
though,
sometimes
they got to show up.
rally
These
around
guys.
young talent like that too. Just because it's whenever you throw in another goalie in net, it gets a team revitalized sometimes. So I could see the Leafs just pumping themselves up off of this kid's start and want to play hard for him.
But it didn't. They didn't rally around him last night.
I think it could be different just from them having like the full 72 hours knowing he's starting. Like I don't think they're going to win the series, win or lose game 4.
See, I counter that and say that's 72 hours of them knowing that and them knowing that they lose, and that's going to play in their minds. I'm telling you, the mental game here, and I called it in the Montreal series, and I was right. It's going to play on them. They have to be questioning whether they can win.
Oh, they definitely are. They definitely are.
And personally, if the game goes south, Matthews is checked out, gone. I mean, he was checked out last night.
Getting traded or extends. Like there's been
he's thinking about where he's going.
Starting to swirl a little bit.
He's going to start thinking about where he's going next.
Yeah, it is a possibility.
I mean, I think so. Anyways, well, I'm right. We'll find out. But I think they get swept tomorrow, Wednesday. By the way, everybody out there, I'm doing the game Wednesday, so you'll see it out there. We're doing the game. Any chance I get to see the Leafs get knocked out, I want to be doing that. So yeah.
Philippe Saint Laurent.
Hopefully, I'm not jinxing.
Philippe Saint Laurent has a nice question. If we somehow get Bedard, does he go first line over Suzuki? And my answer to that is he goes first line, but not over Suzuki because he ends up going on the right.
100%. I think I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Yep. I think he goes on the wing.
Yeah.
He may be a center here. Like we get him. He may be a center here at some point, but I don't think he doesn't start as a center here.
No.
Not at this. Not
no,
in this.
He'll start on the wing.
Not a center.
It'll be a 1C here instantly. That's for sure.
Yeah.
By some miracle, we got him.
By the way,
we're
a minute away from the start of the draft.
All right, I'm gonna head off to go watch.
Awesome. Thanks for being here, Luca.
Of course, thanks.
Always adding something.
Thanks for coming by, Luca.
I try my best. I try my best to keep up. It's very busy.
You do though. I don't know.
But I try my best to stay in touch. Every once in a while, check in on what happenings are happening in the hockey world. So.
Yeah, well, you managed to do a lot of times better job than I. Well, especially on the younger side, the younger players, you're always right on. I don't know how. I know your schedule's hard. I don't know how you watch games.
Mainly highlights. That's when I'm in between classes or whatever. Just throw on a couple highlights on YouTube. That's kind of
Awesome. Luca, take care. Enjoy the draft, and we'll speak to you soon.
all right. Cheers.
All right. Have a good night.
See you, Luca.
Anytime, man.
It's time.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the
It's
2023 NHL Draft Lottery.
all righty. Let's see. What did I want to put up there? So here's
Probably
the
not gonna
order.
let you start doing the picks for like another 10 minutes.
Here's the order. If anybody wants to see that again of what it's going to come down to, I'm going to show the teams as they get named. And
I'll be keeping track on my phone too, so I'll be able to let you know.
we should get that first one in a few minutes. It should take about 5 minutes till we get that first number 16 announced. If I remember from last year, it happens pretty quickly in general, but I do believe because the hockey game tonight starts at 8:30 Eastern, I think it's going to be done by 8:30. That's why the game was scheduled at 8:30 Eastern. That's my belief. So we'll see what we get. Matt's going to let us know as they get picked. Some of you guys out there probably watching it also. We're going to see. I'm going to try to keep up with comments and what I got to do here with these pictures. We'll see if I do a good job. All right.
All right, Bucci, what you got for us?
Phil says playing golf early is a requirement to be a make-believe. Baby says, I'm right. The program is scheduled for 30 minutes. Wait, do they do first round first? What do you mean? No. They start up from 16, work their way down. Otherwise, who's watching the rest of the show? The ping pong balls are dropping. Just about.
They're doing a little pre-analysis thing. It's Joe Buccigross and Kevin Weeks.
This is how it was last year too. They had I think they didn't start till about like 8-10 start to pick some of the numbers out.
That's why I say it doesn't take a long time once they get started. It goes pretty quickly. But they got to lead up.
They usually will pause on like the top 3, I believe.
Yes, 3 or 4. Matt thinks it's the top 4.
And then they go to commercial.
No, it should be the top. It'll go down. It'll go 16 to 10 commercial. At least I think, and then it'll go 9 to 4 commercial, and then they'll come back and do the top 3.
Right. I was gonna say if it was 4, they'll announce 4, and
they
then
might even go down
the top 3 where they announced 1 and 2. I don't know how they're gonna do it.
Well, no, it'll go. It might go 9 to 3, and then they'll come back, and then they'll announce first overall.
In the event Pittsburgh moves up, I may need to go to the hospital because I can't see that team have any level of success after the last 2 decades.
They are where? What position are they?
14.
14. They'd move up to
Very
4, so
unlikely.
they'd probably take Carlson.
They move up to 4, so they're not getting the big pick.
It's the only team. Please not moving up. Washington too.
The cross-state rival.
There is no team I detest more than the Pittsburgh Penguins.
I feel that way about the Leafs, my friend.
I hear you there. If Pittsburgh, like I said, if Pittsburgh moves up, I will be a level of sick I cannot describe with words.
The cards are being brought to the room to be announced.
Oh, here we go.
Kelly Rudy says best fit for the Habs.
How's the blood pressure?
Kelly Rudy says best fit for Bedard is the Habs. Only thing I've agreed on with him on in a long time.
We've waited for this draft for about 3 years, boys. This has been the most hyped up draft for quite some time.
Nathan says, let's hope the magic of Kelly's blue headband rings true. I wish I could. I wish I had it on screen. I don't. Matt's the only. Well, you got it there, Alex. Are you watching?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have it
you
on my
both got it.
television right now.
I'm the only one that.
I'm ahead of him though, so I'm gonna see everything before he does.
Ah, okay. Well, competition between you guys.
But is it delayed based off of the stream?
Satellite.
Well, I got it. I'm on like live. I'm on
It's all
actual
satellite.
TV.
The
I think you're on ESPN. You're probably on ESPN Plus. Or
The
something.
delays are all
I'm on
satellite
regular
related.
ESPN.
Delays are all satellite related. Nowadays, everybody gets it a little different than everybody else.
Yeah. No, Matt always had. Whenever we're listening to games over like Xbox or something, he seems like he always gets it like 15 seconds before I do. I just don't know if the YouTube feed would make it any different.
I'm usually always last when we're doing the games. I get them last.
I will say this once it just in case if Matt is ahead of me when they hits pick 10 or 9, I'm turning the volume down on my phone just because I need that level of suspense.
And we may see Alex faint. It depends on what happens.
You'll this will go viral if we somehow get one.
Renegade Man says if Habs get Bedard or Fantilli, that means no PLD for now anyway. Definitely. Not just for now. Why would they need them later? They won't. Phil says PLD can play wing, so can all centers, which is true. So you never know. Yeah, Phil, I don't think Monahan's going to get re-signed, though.
Oh, my God. Enough of the commercials.
BL, you did not just find out yesterday that the Habs won the last lottery. Don't say that.
Just send it to me. I'm looking at it.
Who are one or more players that I want besides Bedard and Fantilli? Will Smith.
Leo Carlson.
Yeah, there's 2.
So I just found something out actually 2 days ago. I think this is for you guys too. It's extremely slim, but there is a chance both of us can both move up to as high as 3.
Not both.
The only way that happens for us is if Ottawa wins the lottery and we get the second spot. Ottawa would jump ahead of us, but the highest Ottawa could move to is 2. And we would get 3.
How does that? I still don't get how that pushes Montreal up into 3.
Because if Ottawa were to move up to 2, the next lottery pick that would typically be for the second overall spot would
be third.
Would be for third overall.
Anaheim's still holding 1.
Anaheim would get 1.
To move is 10 spots.
If any team 12 to 16 wins the lottery, Anaheim gets number 1 overall.
Yeah, no, I get it. I got you now. That's the explanation. I didn't forget. I didn't remember that part.
Actually, I think with that logic, Montreal could potentially move to. Actually, no, it would only be 3. Never mind. Disregard what I was about to say.
Anthony, you can watch, I believe, on ESPN. I guess TSN must have it. Oh.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
This is what.
Oh my God, Kevin Weeks, shut up!
You poor Kevin Weeks doesn't deserve that.
No, I know. No, I like Kevin Weeks, but like, I want to start rattling off who's getting what pick.
I watch his gambling commercials and I don't like him so much.
Wow, I didn't know Anaheim had fans.
I thought you're talking about Ottawa. Come on, get to it, NHL.
Yes, we know Connor Bedard is very good at hockey.
It's going to be Calgary.
Someone's going to be getting.
They're talking to Connor Bedard.
Oh, Connor's saying yes. I really want to go to Montreal.
I think you're about 5 seconds ahead of me, Matt.
Bedard's saying he really would like to go to Montreal. He won't go anywhere else. He'll only go to Montreal. So don't draft him if you're not Montreal.
You spelled Philly wrong.
That's pretty much what Eric Lindros told everybody when he got drafted.
Yeah,
not going anywhere, but I'm not going to Quebec, is what he said. I am not going to Quebec.
We ended up getting him in that trade.
Yeah, you gave up half your team to get him.
I'd say it was worth it though. He wasn't too bad of a player until
Not my
Scott
favorite
Stevens
player.
happened.
Yeah, not my favorite, but listen, that's me. What's taking him so long? What's taking him so long for this useless pick? It's number 16.
Well, Connor Bedard's still talking right now.
Oh. Well, it's 10 after, so they better get to it.
Once he's done talking, they'll probably start.
All right, then. Let's see what people are saying. Thomas, no, the worst we can be is 7th, not 8th.
Yep, we can pick 1, 2, 3, or 5, 6, or 7.
And for us, it's 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, or 9.
Phil, Ottawa will be liked better once Snoop Dogg and Ryan Reynolds buy it. Yeah.
Ottawa doesn't even have that pick. The Coyotes have that pick.
Right.
Yeah, the only way Ottawa gets is if they move up because it's top 10 protected.
Guru, I forgot they had to give $15 million too to get Lindros. BL's right. In that trade, Lindros wasn't the best player. Forsberg.
Right,
I agree with that.
Go.
Forsberg was.
You have 65 combos. Okay. I didn't know that's how they did it. Was one out of 1,000 combos. Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how they do it.
So that 8.5%, right, for Montreal, that means there's 85 combinations.
Out of 1,000 came out.
Out of 1,000 that, yeah, if they hit.
Okay, I get you. So what, they use the simulator too? Is that what happens? They run the simulator 1,000 times and see what comes up? Seriously, it's taking a long time to get this pick.
Yeah, they got to milk it. You know they're going to do that.
I'm sure there'll be another commercial break before they actually get to it.
I think they'll at least do some of them now, and then they're going to go to commercial about halfway.
Well, they better get to it.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. It's a case of hurry up and wait.
All right, Daly, we got it. Let's go.
And the
16th overall pick goes to
Calgary.
The Calgary Flames.
Yep.
Calgary at 16. There,
all
my
right.
work today paid off.
So far, so good. A big shock there.
15th overall
only
pick.
about 5 seconds ahead. It's not too bad.
The Nashville Predators.
Nashville Predators, 15th, no changes, but I don't expect too many. Well, if one of the picks comes
better
from these
take
guys.
Pittsburgh at 14. Do not test me on that.
Right.
14th overall pick goes to the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Penguins at 14. Alex can relax.
Okay, that's good.
Remember, everybody, if one of these teams that are supposed to be there isn't, then that means they got something.
13th overall pick goes to
supposed to be Buffalo.
The Buffalo Sabres.
Buffalo Sabres.
Right. Nice. So far, so good for both of us.
12th pick should go to Ottawa. Which is held by Arizona.
12th overall pick goes to the Ottawa Senators. So it'll be Arizona.
Arizona's picking 12th from Ottawa.
All right. So this is good.
Everything's fallen in line so far. Next up should be Vancouver if everything's still in line.
11th overall pick goes to
Vancouver.
The Vancouver Canucks.
Nice.
See, now is when it gets like, oh, now I'm nervous. Now we're getting there, right?
10, 9, 8. Get those
Next
three
up
out.
is St. Louis.
The 10th overall pick goes to
St. Louis. Say it.
the St. Louis Blues.
Yes.
No changes yet, boys. Next
So
up
far, so
would be
good.
Detroit.
Say Detroit next, baby.
The 9th overall pick goes to the Detroit Red Wings.
Awesome stuff.
Nice.
Washington would be next.
The 8th overall pick goes to the Washington Capitals.
Awesome.
Hey, Washington.
Oh, here you go, Alex.
Okay. This is it.
At least you're not.
Say Arizona. Say Arizona.
You're
The
not
7th
moving back.
overall selection goes to
Arizona.
the Philadelphia Flyers.
Well, you didn't move back. Still at number 7.
All right. Well, we didn't move down.
The 6th overall pick goes to
Don't do the Arizona. I mean,
the Arizona Coyotes.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, so we either stayed at 5th
We're
or
up
moved
next,
up.
or we're not. If we're not, we've moved up.
The 5th overall pick belongs to the Montreal Canadiens.
Okay, so we stayed.
All right.
That's a win.
So it's one of the big four.
That's a win. We didn't drop.
We didn't
Yep.
either. You know what? I'm fine with it. We didn't drop either.
All right.
No
Where's
Bedard,
Connor Bedard going?
It better not be Chicago or Columbus. Anaheim, San Jose, and
The
Poole.
4th overall pick goes to the San Jose Sharks.
Oh boy. So it's Anaheim or bust for me.
Chicago up next.
Wow.
Well,
No
now they're
changes.
taking a break now, right?
And commercial break.
Well, so analyze this. Well, Alex,
Wait a minute. Columbus dropped to 3rd. He just gave it away. They didn't even show it on TV, and he just said it.
who said it?
Kevin Weeks just said Columbus dropped to 3rd, but they didn't show the card yet.
Well, we'll see. I'm going to be happiest if he ends up in Anaheim.
Yeah, please. Chicago doesn't deserve another player like Bedard.
No, I don't think they do. I personally don't.
I'm okay with Anaheim getting him.
So, what was the question? I had a question on mine. Alex, how do you see it? How do you feel? How do you feel about that? You didn't move up, but at least you didn't move down.
Well, we didn't move down, so I'm happy about that. 7th pick, like I said, it's right at the beginning of that next tier, so we'll probably get that first pick out of that. There's, like I said, a few guys. Oliver Moore is up there for me. Dvorsky, as Matt has brought up, is Benson. There's a lot of good opportunities at 7, so I'm not too upset about it.
And if Michkov drops and he's there, you hope your team takes him or don't?
You know, he would definitely be the most talented available, but it's such a risk. And this is going to be Danny Briere's first draft as a GM. And
Right, can't screw that up.
Be the GM.
Yeah,
you
can't
screw that pick up.
No.
I would be safe. I would be on the safe side and let someone else take that chance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Honestly,
well, at least now we know.
I'd understand if they did.
At least now we know where our respective teams are picking. So that's something. We finally know. I'm really happy we didn't drop back.
Yeah, I was expecting to draw back as it'd be the most flyers thing ever.
And I did not expect them to. Let's check out what the chat thinks of this, by the way. Let's see. Look at where the Montreal pick was. Anthony says last time we were at 5, we got Price, who was amazing. So hopefully we get lucky again. BL says go Chicago. J-Fed says not a win. It's a status quo. That's a win. You didn't drop back.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with that.
Dropping back is a loss, and to me, either moving up or staying is a win. That's my opinion. Bob's good with pick 5. Anthony says he's okay with Habs, who's not getting him, or the Ducks. Anaheim with all those 11:30 starts, wonderful for the that means a 1:00 start for him. I kind of think it will be Chicago for some reason. I prefer Anaheim. They never had first pick, says Bob. Guru says if Michkov goes early, then someone decent drops down. Yep. Last time we got 5th, we got Carey Price. I got to do that again. I read that already. We got 5th. I'm happy, better than 7th. We can possibly still get Smith. Renegade Mad says either Benson or Smith at 5. If we get Will Smith at 5, I'll be happy. Says okay. Dang, says Phil. Phil was counted on first. Luca, we had a better chance of dropping back than staying at 5, so pretty solid. Yeah, that's it. It's a win.
I think that's a win in my book.
I think it's not a big win. It's a small W, but it's a win.
The 3rd overall pick goes to the Columbus Blue Jackets.
I was saying Jackets.
They gave it away. Why did Weeks do that?
So the Jackets get number 3. God, Chicago's getting a good. I can't believe Chicago's getting this.
They're gonna have to be content with Leo Carlson, I guess. For them,
Chicago's gonna get Bedard.
Come on, give it to the Ducks.
The 1st overall pick in the 2023 NHL Draft belongs to the Chicago Blackhawks.
I just said it. Chicago gets Bedard. Anaheim gets Fantilli.
Wow.
The Jackets.
That's sickening. Oh.
The Jackets might take Michkov. I can see the Jackets taking Michkov.
Chicago really won.
Chicago gets the number 1 pick. Let me know in the comments. What do you think of that? What do you think of that?
I guess you just have to have a major sex scandal and you get the 1st overall pick.
Yeah, I guess so.
That actually irks me a little bit.
Anthony said no effing way. Renegade Man said I had a feeling Chicago will get the pick. I just said I wanted Anaheim, but just as they announced it, I don't know I didn't say it loud, but I said Chicago's going to get it, and they did. Just patting myself on the back. Chicago is guys to waste him. Well, they're rebuilding. I mean, this will help their rebuild. You know who I feel good for? Only one guy, the coach, because he was here before.
It's Luke Richardson, right?
Yeah, Richardson. He's the only guy I feel good for. That's it.
Little known fact: when Edmonton got McDavid, they were the number 3 pick originally.
Oh, were they? Yeah.
Yep, they were number 3 in 2015.
There you go.
They moved up to 1.
Anthony says Chicago's going to ruin him. Oasis said, okay, did they announce the Blue Jackets before the commercial? Blue Jackets got 3rd. MK, what's the Will Smith biggest strengths? I honestly can't say that off the top of my head. I'm definitely gonna do a scouting report on Will Smith before the draft. Original 6 team in a very good hockey market. What's not to like? Frig the California teams. I just I'm not the biggest Hawks fan these days. That's all.
Especially after all the stuff that we found out that happened in 2010.
Yeah, and with the price they didn't really pay for it, so yeah. They get rewarded. It's like they get rewarded for it. It's like they're getting rewarded for that with this, if you ask me. Original 6. Oh, was happy to get a Ducks jersey with Bedard on the back, but no way I'm getting a Chicago jersey. Me neither. Would you be happy if the Habs get Benson? Off the top of my head, yeah. Not over Will Smith, though. Chicago has the worst player development in the whole league. Well, that sucks for Bedard then. Will Smith's biggest strength is a slap. Sufka says Will Smith's biggest strength is a slap shot. Amongst a lot of other strengths. He's a good hockey player. So which team next year will cower and tank and bribe like Chicago did this year? Why? I don't know who's available. So I don't know. We'll see next year. Maybe history will repeat itself and Bedard will come here. How? They tanked hard and it paid off. They tanked hard. Chicago tanked hard.
I don't think you can tank much harder than what they did this year. They literally traded.
Yeah, I mean they tanked hard.
Jones.
It's kind of like saying crime pays.
Seriously.
That's how I feel. But you know what, though? To my point before all this happened, that I wasn't expecting to get it, and that we didn't get it. See, I'm not.
But we stayed at fifth, so I'm happy.
I'm not all like, we didn't get it. Because I didn't expect to get it.
It's who did get it that upsets you.
That's it is, but it is what it is. We didn't get them. So what does it really matter who got them? Not really. Not really. See what Chicago does with them.
All right, gentlemen. I'm going to be departing now. I'm about to eat some dinner, so I appreciate joining on the stream. I'd love to come back on again sometime.
Pleasure
you guys
having you.
Take care.
Have a good night.
Wonderful day. Have a good night, everyone else in the chat.
Ciao, man.
See you, buddy.
All right, let's see. Chicago gets it after a scandal. NHL paying them back. Yeah, no, it's you know what though? It kind of fits though with the NHL over there.
Right, that is probably exactly what Gary Bettman wanted. If we're being real,
probably. Well, if he couldn't have Arizona, like right now, Bettman's probably in the corner somewhere with his dick out, doing the, got to take care of the chubby he got.
What's up, Dakota?
It is what it is, but Chicago has to get rid of those contracts. Which contracts? Taves is gone. They got rid of Kane. I mean, it's a total rebuild, so, whatever. It is what it is. We got Doc from Chicago because the player development there was so bad. Yep. I agree. If they didn't tank hard, we wouldn't have Doc. Very true. At least the Hawks did not demote a goalie who was winning like the 83-84 Pens did. Well, okay. Rest in peace, Bedard. What are you talking about, dude? I mean, really, if he's going to be a great player, he's going to be a great player anywhere he goes. So I'm not worried about the Bedard's development, really. Right? I didn't want them to really get it.
Yeah, I agree.
Dakota Joe, not nice, and we don't talk about people that are on the show that way.
No, he's buddies with me and Alex.
Oh, okay, Dakota Joe, then that's okay.
Yeah, that's our buddy.
I didn't know that.
That's all good.
Gary's very happy that he went to the States. Probably he is, yeah. That for sure he is.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Jones giant contract. Oh, they do have that. Yeah, that was ridiculous. $9 million for 8 years. I mean, that's ridiculous. I'm glad he's going to be in the Western Conference. Less of our problem. True. But if you like to see great players, we're going to see them only twice a season. I'm glad. Oh, I read that. Yeah, listen. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. We didn't get him. We didn't move back for my team. I see this as a win as far as they didn't move back. So, and I didn't think they would move forward. So there you go. So I'm okay.
Mm-hmm. No, me too.
That's what happens. If I'm sure a lot of Habs fans are pretty disappointed, but what are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm cool with it. Look, if we end up Oh, excuse me. We get Will Smith at 5. I'll be beyond happy.
You know what? If that's how it ends up, and we do, I think then it becomes a real win, right? If they don't botch the pick, it's still a win because we didn't drop.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how people aren't like excited about that fact. Anyway, that's me. BL says if he's Chicago, talking to the Wild about getting Reeves for a year or two to protect the young Bedard. Anthony says, I'm saying that Chicago has a reputation for bad player development and it sucks. Bedard has to play on a team with no future. But you know what? Look, if you want to go back to Mario Lemieux, I mean, that team had no future. He saved that team. No, there's no reason to think that Bedard cannot do the same thing for Chicago. So I don't really agree with you. And kind of like if I'm Chicago and I know my player development's not that great, I'm working to get that fixed up now that we got Bedard, and like you got to start getting serious now.
Yeah,
but I mean he has a future. There's like he's going to bring this team up, you know. So. Renegade Man Chicago was a bad year for everything with that, and you're right. They had that Akeem Leo racism shit. It's a horrible team. Hopefully they fixed things up. Hopefully, I don't know. Felix, I'm hoping for Michkov. I'm ready to wait 3 years just to see him destroy the shell. So NHL like that shell. You know, it's if there wasn't a risk, I don't disagree with that. It just I think it's a big risk right now. So unless you're sure you're going to get him, and he is coming here in 3 years, if not earlier, and you know you can buy him out, his contract out, and bring him over. Like if that's the case and they can do that, I'm fine with Michkov. But I think if that's the case and teams know they can do that, Michkov's not going to drop to 5.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a very big possibility now. If Will Smith is not chosen at 4th, I would be happy. Means Habs get him. Yes. And I hope that happens. So kind of in a way, I'm hoping the Jackets take Michkov or whoever's in 4. I can't remember now. And then we've got Will Smith. I'm happy with that. You think Bedard can leave after his entry-level contract if everything goes bad? Well, he's an RFA, so he won't have control over that. But the way to leave is you don't sign right away, get an offer sheet, sign that, and hope for the best. But I'm telling you, Connor Bedard's going to go to Chicago, and in Chicago, he's going to help that team get better. He's going to find a home, and he's going to make that team, again, a top team. Watch and see. That's what happens with great players. Sidney Crosby did it. Mario Lemieux did it. McDavid's doing it. So why would Bedard not do that in Chicago? Wait a second. I'm reading a comment. I don't understand. None of the NHL teams now are in worse shape than early years. Facts. 83 Pens picked your year. Leafs pre-89. 77 to 83 Wings. I'm not sure what you're saying there. Oh, I see what you're saying. Definitely. Look, Bedard's going to help Chicago. There's no doubt in my mind.
100%.
BL says Habs end up with Smith, Benson, or Michkov. I agree with that. One of those 3 guys. I'm saying that before. Listen, you know what? There's still a couple of months away. Things can happen, and I haven't done any kind of deep dives in any of these guys. But before that happens, I agree with that. I think they end up with Smith or a guy like Benson. If not Benson, but some, you know, yeah.
I hope it's Will Smith because then I get to watch 2 Habs prospects live. like once a week.
There you go. Kikalainen in Columbus goes for Leo Carlson, I think, says BL. You're probably right, but I still say that I could see him drafting Michkov. And he's kind of a risk taker, I find. Maybe I'm wrong, but
Who?
Kikalainen in Columbus.
Hmm.
I could see them drafting Michkov at third. Wonder if Columbus has the fan base willing to wait for a Michkov. I don't know that they have a choice. They are crap. They are rebuilding, and
They are poo-poo.
And it takes a few years to rebuild. Do they have a choice but to wait for that to happen? And if the timing is right, Michkov comes in at the right time. And like I said, there's a possibility they can buy out the contract.
Mm-hmm.
Did LeCavalier help save the Lightning? I think so. No. I mean, not the same way that these other guys did, but I mean, help? Yeah, probably. Stamkos probably more than anything, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
If Michkov bought his contract out from the KHL, he would be chosen in the top 3. Well, this is what I'm saying. Bob says, plus when Bedard goes to Chicago, there will be immense pressure on the GM to surround Bedard with a decent team. The fans won't tolerate that talented player to flounder on his own. Plus, listen, they've got a good coach in Chicago. Luke Richardson's a good coach. I think, if Bedard goes there, are we going to go there? He's going to bring, that team's going to get better. He's going to make that team better, and the team's going to get better. It's just what happens.
They will, but they still got to surround them with some talent. I mean,
they do. But I'm saying, though, that's going to happen. And you know what? Probably the same thing in Anaheim when Fantilli goes there. These are great players. They're going to bring their teams up.
Mm-hmm.
Which players do I think are NHL ready? I couldn't really tell you 100% because I don't do any really good looks at the prospects for the draft till a month before the draft, 3 weeks before. I'll start doing the videos. Bubble Tea asked a good question though about Kikalainen. Does he have 3 years to wait for Michkov? Well, maybe making that pick buys him the time. Never know. Jackie James, that's the point we're trying to make, right? Is that it's a bit risky. And unless you know that you could be able to buy his contract out and get him here, it's risky. Bubble Tea, you're probably right. He might have to save his job before then, but you never know. Kane and Taves helped Chicago. So did McDavid and Draisaitl for the Oilers. And Bedard, and maybe they'll get another great pick. And he's going to do well there in Chicago. I don't doubt it. J-Fed Michkov's not going to. I mean, I'm not saying that he couldn't, and you're right based on talent, but he's not going to. BL, that's a perfect point, right? They can't wait they don't have the time to wait for Michkov. When you have Fantilli right there, no, they're not doing that. The Cavalier won the Cup in 2004 with Kabibulin in nets, yes. But I don't know that he brought them totally to, I think it was Stamkos, but Le Cavalier, was that step before Stamkos. The Hawks have 19 picks in the first 3 rounds of this draft. They'll probably move some. McTavish said, must be sad if you know, you know. McTavish, which McTavish? Mason McTavish? Think the Habs would trade with the Jackets to get Carlson? It's kind of more like would the would the Jackets trade with the Habs? Would they trade down? Does Carlson go fourth? Probably third or fourth, I would think. Probably. Maybe Price's contract moved to someone. I don't think so. I don't think they're going to do that to Carey Price. I don't think Carey Price is coming back. And, it's kind of more evident in the way they're talking about having his LTIR money next year. He's not coming back. I don't think they're going to move him, though. Renegade Man Chicago is rebuilding, so it's going to take time. Yeah, it's not going to. They'll probably be like this. Probably jumps it a year, and they probably will be starting to be good, like when Montreal is. Anthony's a good point. I'm not forgetting, and I don't think everyone's overlooking that. It's just it's not every year you get a generational player, and then when you're in the running to possibly get him, everyone wants to get him. When will Caulfield sign and for how much? Unknown. I don't know exactly when he will sign. For how much? Also, it's hard to tell. I mean, I'm starting to think it's going to be for more money than we've been talking about. And I do believe he'll end up signing 8 years. Oh, BL, without a doubt, Montreal could buy out the contract. The thing I'm not sure is, does the player have to buy out the contract, or can the team that drafted him buy him out? Because in the case I was talking about, the player bought out his contract. I didn't hear it said that Washington bought out the contract. So I don't know what the rule is for that. Whoever the Habs pick will take maybe 2 years to make it to the Habs roster, potentially. Matt, wake up, BL says. Oh, Anthony says Mason McTavish and Bedard are good friends, and they were kind of hoping to be on the same team, I guess. Price paid to rest by another team is no different than Currency. Am I wrong? Since his pads are not going back on. It's not. I don't think it's about that. I think they're not going to. I mean, how will the Habs fans really take that? Right? They trade Price away, his contract away like that. I don't know that that's a good look for the Habs. I don't think they want to disrespect Carey along the way, and that's what I'm basing that on. He'll go on LTIR for the rest of his contract, and that's what it'll be. I don't think the Habs would trade Price after everything he did for the team. It would be so dirty. That's basically what I'm saying. New York, Toronto, Montreal have the most dollars, no worries about buying a contract. Yeah, but can they do it? Are they allowed to do that? Or does the player have to do it first? Matt, no audio. Your audio's off. See, we lose Matt now.
It got unplugged.
Oh, okay.
No, I was saying they showed a couple of Habs fans in the crowd in Edmonton. I get the game's about to start.
Oh, okay. Well, on that note, though, we're going to take off because it's getting late. Anyways, we're finally there. We know what pick we got.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little bit better. We did not get the pick I guess we were all hoping we would get, but everything's going to be good. I think it's going to be fine for Montreal not getting Bedard.
Yeah.
In the end.
I'm cool.
It doesn't mean by getting Bedard that would have put us over the top or not. So anyways, a lot of teams don't get that kind of a big player, and they still do just fine. So I'm not worried. And that's it. Hey, Rena, you're in late, but I'm doing good. Hope you are too, but we're on our way out. All right. So as Bob says there, keep your sticks on the ice. Have a great night. I'll see you again Wednesday. We're going to do the game on Wednesday.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we'll be watching the Leafs lose against.
Go Cats, go.
Yeah. So we'll see you then. Till then, thanks for being here, everybody. Stay safe. That didn't come out right. Stay safe till next time. Peace out, y'all. and we'll see you soon. Have a
Have a
great
good
night.
Have a good one, guys. Awesome to see so many people in here for this stream.
Yeah, it was great. Have a great one. Ciao, everybody.